have some massive, huge internet privacy drama that's been going on behind the scenes that I've been heavily impacted by, and so have you.
Hackers got social security numbers, dates of births, physical addresses, and emails, all found being sold on the dark web.
The world is in a digital age. If you haven't been chronically online, if you haven't been on Twitter in a while and seen awesome memes like this.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
In unison with all this fun shit that's always happening and all these, you know, dead bodies you can see at the tip of your fingers on a daily basis, it's impossible to stay anonymous or protected.
AT&T now doing damage control after revealing that the personal data of about 1 in 5 Americans was stolen and leaked on the dark web 2 weeks ago. The telecom giant says 7.6 million current account holders have been impacted, along with more than 65 million former customers.
And companies are always just trading your information for like this thing called money.
There are at least 100 apps, including weather and traffic apps, that are selling geolocation data. A firm called Thasos buys info about foot traffic and then spits out insights like how many customers visited a store in any given day and sells that to investors.
They're transacting your information as if it's worth value or something like that. I really don't know.
Your name, your age, your height, your weight, where you live, where you work, your family, your friends, your likes, your dislikes, your phone number, your email, your health conditions, your buying habits, your credit score, your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, who you text. These are all examples of data points. Little bits of information, and those little bits of information are very valuable things.
Companies find great value in selling and trading your private information.
Pages that they like, the places that they've visited, relationship statuses, hobbies, friends lists. Look at property records and land registries, court records, birth certificates, voter registration information, bankruptcy records. All of these things can be publicly accessed.
Much like I used to trade candy at the schoolyard just to make a quick buck back when I was in school. I'm just kidding. That was all a lie. That was all a lie. I was homeschooled! This being said, the public is tired of their data being stolen. I am a member of the public, and I am tired of my data being fucking stolen, dude. I'm not gonna have it anymore. So you know what I'm gonna do? Me and all of you are going to go build an 18th century guillotine, French Revolution style, and we're going to build it up right outside of a government building. Just kidding. We're not going to do that.
There is no need to start a riot.
That's a great idea. Let's start a riot.
Because that would be funny. That would be like art, like progressive or modern art. But what we are going to do is expose them online, because that's what we do on this epic drama channel.
What all these companies have in common is they collect your personal information and then resell or share it with others. As one expert puts it, they're the middlemen of surveillance capitalism.
Also, just the internet has been lame lately, dude. They're trying to ban TikTok, which I understand.
This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
And then also trying to ban our jerk material as well, dude. In Texas, you can't. What the f? I'm just kidding. They're not trying to do that. That's all there's a lot to that. There's a lot of facets to all that, what I just said there. I like to pretend stuff's really simple and then just say it so people get mad at me. And then I say, well, I didn't know.
I know about that.
You don't know about that?
Yeah, I know I've been calling.
I'm just from Appalachia. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here. I just read the script. I don't talk. What y'all means? Who? Joe Baldwin? Joe Baldwin?
Minnesota!
Made a couple videos about online privacy recently. We talked about the TikTok ban. Basically, a bill has been partially approved by the United States government to ban TikTok. We'll get into it. It's fucking dumb. I want to know what you guys think. I'm pretty excited about it, though. I was like, a little black pill, a little apathetic, said, hey man, I don't really care. My data's already out there. I'd rather have China have it than the American government. Another fucked up thing is they say this shit is for us and it's to protect the data of American citizens from the Chinese government. But it's not like actual protection of our data and privacy in a blanket sense of the phrase. It's just that they want it. The American government and our intelligence agencies can have it, but the Chinese government cannot have it. I think, honestly, I'd rather have the Chinese government have it, because what the fuck are they going to do with it? And that is still true. I still believe that. I still, you know, would prefer someone who doesn't have direct control over me in this instant to have my data versus the American government, who does have a lot of control over me in my day-to-day life. That being said, extremely short-sighted, obviously. That's an instant gratification, literally the TikTok way of looking at it. I would prefer nobody have that information. I would also prefer no one be able to predict exactly what I'm thinking right now.
Let me out of here. I don't want to be in here anymore.
That's how it feels to have your information stolen, sort of. Anyways, that was the voice in my head. So, what do you guys feel like? Do you feel like privacy is your right?
Over the last 16 months, as I've debated this issue around the world, every single time somebody has said to me, I don't really worry about invasions of privacy because I don't have anything to hide, I always say the same thing to them. I get out a pen, I write down my email address, I say, here's my email address. What I want you to do when you get home is email me the passwords to all of your email accounts. Not just the nice, respectable work one in your name, but all of them. Because I want to be able to just troll through what it is you're doing online, read what I want to read, and publish whatever I find interesting. After all, if you're not a bad person, if you're doing nothing wrong, you should have nothing to hide. Not a single person has taken me up on that offer.
Do you feel like privacy is a privilege that is traded for convenience? Because that's kind of what it is.
The modern internet is built on an implicit bargain. We get free access to websites, life-changing apps, and connective social media, and in exchange, companies collect our data to sell to advertisers.
Regardless of whether or not you want that to be the reality, that's pretty much what privacy is. It's a privilege that is traded for convenience.
And back in 2010, an innocuous message board quote became internet famous. If you are not paying for it, you're not the customer. You're the product being sold.
It's a huge topic of debate. I'm interested. I love making videos like this and looking at the comments and seeing people who know a lot about stuff talking. I like that. I like reading those comments. There aren't that many laws protecting people's data. They're lackluster, they're weak, and quite frankly, they are lame, and they should be put down swiftly with respect. As is the case with a lot of laws that are from the government, they're all from the 50s, and they all fucking suck. And then they add shit, and it makes it look like something Teddy Fresh would make. A bunch of just patches, bunch of nonsensical patches. You're like, what is this, a fucking scam? Pretty much. I mean, to be honest. Now, there are some privacy rules. HIPAA, you've probably heard of that.
HIPAA stands for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996. This act aims to limit access to protected health information, also known as PHI, from misuse.
So that act covers health information and requires written consent or permission to disclose protected health information, basically. So it's cool. You know, it makes sense, I think. Then we have COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, to protect children's data online. But after you turn 18, welcome to the jungle, I guess.
Federal law mandates that all teachers and administrators follow the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. This is commonly called the COPPA or COPA law. The COPA law applies to all students who are under the age of 13. In a nutshell, the law applies to digital publication of any personal information about these students.
It's the Wild West out here. Remember the COPPA thing on YouTube? It was a big sham, big scam or something. The EU does have a law, so we're not going to pretend like there isn't any laws. My world just begins and ends in America, and that's where I like to plant my flag. All right, guys? That's where my moral guidelines come from. The EU one is called the General Data Protection Regulation.
The new GDPR regulations cover things that could identify us. So your name, contact details, the location of your computer and personal data, like race and sexual orientation. From now on, organisations will have to prove they have a lawful reason for holding that kind of data, and even more importantly, show that they're keeping it safe.
And it honestly protects Americans' data probably a pretty significant amount, because the obligations put forth by it are imposed on any organization in the world that collects data from anyone in the EU. And most organizations that collect data around the whole world, all right? Most of them, all the big scary ones like Google and all that stuff. People think I'm a Google puppet. Isn't that funny? There's like a whole new world of people who think I'm a Google puppet. They think that Google, because I like YouTube, they think that I'm a Google puppet. You know what I'm a puppet for? Candy. Sour candy. Available at sour.gg. Go to sour.gg. Did you guys know that I have a candy company and we manufacture our own candy in-house? In my house? Actually, in the basement down there. There's shit everywhere. In the candy, too. We got some cool flavors. We got some new flavors coming. Blur that one, probably. But it'll be there. Just sign up to the email list. You'll get an email as soon as it comes out. And you can procure it like evil people procure our data. Now, Federally, not a lot of laws. There are state laws. That's the greatness of the melting pot that is the United States of Earth. There was an attempted ratification of the what is that thing called? Constitution in like 18 something maybe, I think, where they wanted to change this to the US of E. The United States of Earth. I think we should have done it, to be honest. California has the Consumer Privacy Act.
The California Consumer Privacy Act, or CCPA, came into effect January 1st, 2020. Enforcement started on July 1st, 2020. The CCPA provides and enhances consumer privacy rights and protections for California residents. They have the right to know what personal information a business has collected about them, receive a copy of it, or request that it be deleted.
Which is pretty cool, man. California, sometimes they're on the cutting edge of some stuff. All right, some stuff. I like it. I like that. It's ironic though. The home of Silicon Valley, where, I mean, those are the culprits that are stealing everyone's data, and they've muddied the waters in what should be legal and what is a violation of like human right. Kinda. It's just at least California has an act to protect their sort of citizens. There's also Virginia, my home state, Sic Semper Tyrannis. Colorado also has a little protection act, which is pretty cool. These are all recent, by the way, during COVID, 2021 for Virginia, and Colorado, I think, as well. So that's 3 out of 50 states that have privacy protection acts for consumers that positively affect the residents of those states. How is this not a normal thing? I don't understand. Hey man, in Texas, guess what? You can't look at if you're under the age of 18. Okay, awesome. What about all the other stuff? What about all the other stuff, man? What about like selling my data to China and shit? So at the federal level, in regard to protecting the citizens of the United States of America, protecting their privacy, there's almost nothing that's really truly been done. We've got the TikTok ban is for us to protect our data. That's kind of what it's being shielded as.
A showdown is looming for TikTok. Today, the House overwhelmingly passed a bill to force the social media app's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell or face a ban in the U.S. Both parties voicing national security concerns because the Chinese government could access the data of TikTok's 170 million American users.
But in reality, it's to divest ByteDance and sell it to an American-owned company. But, you know, Meta captures just as much data, and it's on Facebook and X, all this shit.
They're not selling your data, it's much worse.
A big part of Google's ad business includes things like search ads and YouTube ads that we're all familiar with. But another big part is third-party ads.
There are a lot of different websites and apps that are trying to sell ad space, like millions. And there are a lot of different advertisers that are trying to buy ad space.
Google acts as the facilitator, connecting them.
Love it, dude. When you watch my videos, they're gathering your data and they're seeing which parts of my video that you react to that cause you to engage. For example, when I say, subscribe to my channel, press like, guys, a little thing will pop up. Now, have you noticed that? Hey, press like. Hey, subscribe to my channel. And it's ironic that I can say that, and then it directly acknowledges the fact that it's listening, and it's interpreting it. It's trying to create this little path, these little synapses. It's trying to connect me to you, to shill my influence directly into your fucking cerebellum. All right, and get me to get you to use their website as long as you possibly can, so you see as many ads as you possibly can see, and so you interact as much as possible. They gather as much data, and they make as much money as possible, and then they create an eldritch AI to replace you because you're too based and red-pilled. Yeah, so the federal government has done nothing. Okay, they've done nothing. Don't be fooled. All right, guys. And it's not China. It's not big bad China. It is big bad China. They're all bad. Everyone's bad. Everything that benefits from the control of individuals is bad, just in case you were not aware of that. But there are egregious online privacy violations and data abusers here in the United States of America. I feel like when TikTok is sold, if it's sold and divested, it will do the exact same shit. Now, that being said, TikTok, not even top 5. Just gathering your fucking data. It's 6, not 5. It's 6. Grindr is higher than TikTok. So all my gays out there, guys, take a chill pill on this gay app, okay? This gay sex app. We found this nifty meme thing. Look at this shit. Look at this. Thank you, Richard Dawkins and Benjamin Franklin for creating the first meme, and Richard Dawkins for popularizing the term meme. This is a pretty fun little meme here. You can see Facebook is #1. It's the absolute worst. Makes sense. It's fucking called Facebook. Instagram, a subsidiary of Facebook. Sister, they belong to Meta. Tinder, the worst app any human being has ever used. And I've used Tinder for a short period of time because I was a single man for a while. All right. And I had no luck on Tinder at all. I'm negative Riz. I don't try very hard at all. I didn't try very hard at all. Not really my thing. It was more of a game to play with my friends. We would both, go and swipe and try to have funny interactions or something like that. I tried to make videos about it. And guess what? I had such bad Riz that I couldn't even make any videos about it. It wasn't funny. Not enough people swiped on me. I'm too ugly.
Excuse me, sir. I hope my horrible ugliness won't be a distraction to you.
Not at all, boy!
But it's an evil app. You can feel it pulling you in. Just using each little nugget, each little sprinkle of data that they can collect from you to figure out how to fucking get you to spend more time on the app and get more addicted and become more dependent. Sorry, not addicted, but not enthralled. That's even worse. That implies gross manipulation. That implies fucking supernatural levels of manipulation. It gets you to enjoy the app for longer, or whatever marketing people are told to say when they get degrees. It's bad though. It's probably the worst app I've ever used where I can actually feel it consuming me. Like I'm not interacting with my friends. It's literally preying on my male drive, my male desire to like have a mate or look at, I don't even understand how to articulate it.
Then there's MyFitnessPal.
According to this little Clario thing, it shows that Facebook and Instagram both collect 20 to 30% more data than TikTok does, which is insane. You think with all that fucking data, they'd be able to make the app better. No, dude. What is this? They don't show, I see gay 40% of everything that showed me is gay and shit like this. What the is that? What is that, dude? There's that. There's monkeys. I will concede the monkey content is excellent on Instagram, on Reels. Reels is fucked up though. A lot of naked women too. Holy shit. That's not a naked woman. That's a naked man. Like what? I mean, what is this? Damn little bird eating his kid's tooth. Same with Facebook. I don't even use Facebook. I use Facebook to post a picture of me with an old filter on once a quarter just to confuse my family members. And they all believe it. It's awesome. And they don't just collect your habits, your browsing habits, and they're looking at your face. They're recognizing your voice. They're building profiles on you and putting you into product recognized categories. So you can be fed ads based on stuff you might buy or things that are in the background of your photos and videos. They're literally identifying stuff in your life personally. They are violating your privacy 110% on a consistent and regular basis. It's ceaseless, it never ends, and there's quite literally nothing we can do about it to this level. TikTok does do this as well. I'm not defending TikTok in any way, okay? I'm just using these two other apps that are American owned as an example to show you that the ownership has nothing to do with how effectively they can violate your fucking privacy. I really like this, showing that Instagram tracks your location more than fucking Google Maps, dude. Why is Apex? And why are these tracking your location? This makes no sense. So once again, to reiterate, not a CCP sympathizer, just so you guys are aware, not a huge fan of communist China, okay? I don't want I got family out near Taiwan, all right? And I love Taiwan, and I think Taiwan is an independent country, and I think China's lame and stupid, and I don't like China. I love Chinese culture. When I say I don't like a country, I mean the government. The government and the people that run that country. All right, guys. All right, guys. Come on. Of course I love China. Yeah, we do the same thing though. Double standard is what I'm saying. The government here wants us to believe that they are protecting our privacy and they're pressuring a foreign company into selling ownership to somehow protect it. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. The real question And where the drama resides from, are US-based companies more responsible with your data? I say I'd rather have China have my data, and I mean that shit, okay? But it's short-sighted. I understand there's flaws in the logic. I get it, okay? I can get it. I'd rather have nobody have my data at all, okay? But is it better for someone far away with less control over you to have your data, or is it better for a US-based company because it's America, Team America? I would love for America to milk me of my data and turn me into a large bosomly cow. Or whatever. It seems like that is not the case, that they are not responsible with our data. A recent unsealing of a court document from a class action lawsuit against Facebook alleged that it sold users private messages. What the fuck is that? How is that even fucking legal? How can you do that shit? Private messages. I'm under the assumption that it's private when you send a message that's fucking a direct message to someone, or at least just don't sell it to Netflix. How about that, guys? Because they sold it to Netflix. Why the did they sell it to Netflix? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
According to a new report in the New York Times, for years, Facebook struck deals to share users' personal data with more than 150 companies, including Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon. Among the allegations in the report, Facebook allowed Spotify, Netflix, and the Royal Bank of Canada to read, write, and delete users' private messages.
Oh my God. Explosive court documents. This is crazy. This is explosive privacy drama. When I saw that, I saw those headlines and I was like, there ain't no way that's true. And yeah, it's an antitrust lawsuit. It's fucking massive. And Facebook gave Netflix access to its private APIs. And that includes private messages of the users of Facebook. In return, Netflix would give bi-weekly reports to Facebook with what their users are recommending. So that's fucking crazy, okay? And we don't know if it's 100% true. Just because it's in a court document doesn't mean it's true. Could be misinformation. And to be fair, a Meta spokesperson denied the allegations. Meta didn't share people's private messages with Netflix, a Meta spokesperson told Fox Business on Tuesday. As the document says, the agreement allowed people to message their friends on Facebook about what they were watching on Netflix directly from the Netflix app. Such agreements are commonplace in the industry. We are confident the facts will show this complaint is meritless. Now, to speak on this, I've had Netflix since it was little DVDs and they showed up in the mailbox, and I used to watch Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. Used to love that movie. I got my parents to order it like once every couple months. I don't ever recall since then having the ability to message Facebook friends from within the app. So also, I would never want to use Netflix as a messaging app. That sounds terrible. So at the end of the day, they did have access to our private APIs, the private API of Facebook. And personally, I'm not one to really trust what Facebook says or be quick to believe any explanation provided by a Meta spokesperson, especially since Facebook is run by a reptilian man who looks like a patient of that fucking TikTok surgeon, Dr. Kim. Remember that guy? Yeah, he fucks people up. He looks like he's been fucked up by Dr. Kim. He's a funny looking guy. He really is. Am I the only first person to notice this? He's a funny looking little fella.
Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
There are a lot of real reasons to be very skeptical of Facebook. History repeats itself, and they have a history of giving away our data or giving access to user data and just not disclosing it to those users.
So on March 16th, the New York Times and The Guardian reported that a data mining firm named Cambridge Analytica, which had worked on Donald Trump's presidential campaign, had improperly obtained access to more than 50 million user profiles.
On top of sharing, also just leaks. In 2022, Ireland fined Meta $284 million when the data of 500 million users were leaked online, including full names and phone numbers. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, Meta. Love it. Love it. Additionally, Meta was fined $1.3 billion for doing the same shit that we are now saying that TikTok is doing with our data, sending it to China. Meta's doing that with European data. Okay, so foreign adversaries, and they're sending that data to the good guys, us, America. So it's a little different, all right, guys, but it's still very bad. I assume that GDPR is working pretty good out there in the EU, fighting to protect the data of those people out there. who live out there for some reason. Why do they live there? Weird. Do as I say, not as I do. Go. And aside from the 2022 fine, all this other shit is information that's willingly traded or sold or scraped or given, shared, whatever you want to call it, by Meta to other companies. And this doesn't even scrape the surface of the amount of data leaks and hacks that have become incredibly rampant. For example, AT&T, my phone provider.
AT&T customers, listen up. The self-service giant says a data set found on the internet contains information like social security numbers for more than 7.5 million account holders and 65 million former account holders.
Been my phone provider since I stole my grandmother's number back in 2011. All right, she used to be my phone number. Now it's me. All right, rest in peace. Didn't mean to call you a bitch. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Grandma. Other Grandma, not the one that's been on the channel, by the way. You know what my favorite part about all this is that all these data companies, all these companies that protect our information, that provide us with services, they say they protect our information, but in reality, they're just data companies. They're just data gathering companies. That's pretty much what they are. That's what they do. That's how they make most of their money. But at least they say that they will keep our information and use it for non-evil purposes, which isn't, you know, every few months there's a massive data breach or some kind of explosive bombshell court document released from an antitrust lawsuit showing that what we were led to believe is not the reality of what is actually going on, which is crazy that happens like a lot. Why does that happen so much? It seems kind of funny that happens so conveniently all the time. It's making me a little angry. Maybe I'll do something about it sometime in the next 100 years. A company that comes to mind in regard to all this is 23andMe. They are always having massive privacy breaches, and it's unfortunate.
The company says that data belonging to nearly 7 million users has been impacted. According to reports, the company said the hackers gained access through old passwords. In a Securities and Exchange Commission filing about the breach, the company said it only expects to lose between $1 and $2 million.
Unfortunate, because they have my data. They have my DNA. They have my DNA. I've signed up for 23andMe. I think it's a really cool service, and I found out a lot of cool shit. But at the same time, now I probably have a Turkish clone. Okay, guys, or an Iranian clone. I'll have to choose a foreign adversary. Turkey's in NATO for some reason.
Turkish history be like, be nomads on the steppe, claim ancestry from bestiality, raid the stupid weak city people, get chased out by even stronger Turkic nomads, got hajat out off here MP4, migrate your civilization thousands of miles away from your homeland.
23andMe is pretty cool though, man. It's pretty cool. Irish, French, and German, see? It's pretty cool. I'm pretty European though, to be honest. It changes a lot as well. 6% Lebanese or Levantine. I have cousins in Lebanon though. My great grandmother's from Syria. Depends on what the headlines were that week. Would depend on where she was from, but anyways. Call me crazy, but having my DNA exposed out there, even if it's just from a little bit of spittle and not like a blood sample, I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to be upset that it's been stolen by hackers and shit. What? 6.9 million users? That's a lot of fucking people. I'm probably one of those people. How many users does 23andMe have? 14 million. Oh, you mean just less than half? Okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and hurt myself then. Oh, y'all. Not to mention, by the way, I talked about my phone, AT&T. 73 million customers were hacked, leaked. Data from the 73 million, probably me.
Telecom company AT&T said on Saturday that a data leak could have affected about 73 million people. The company said it's investigating a data set released on the dark web about 2 weeks ago, and that its preliminary analysis shows it has impacted approximately 7.6 million current account holders and 65.4 million former account holders. AT&T said the data set appears to be from 2019 or earlier.
I assume there's only 360 or 50 million people in America in general. That's a lot. How many of those people have phones? Probably more than half, I'd assume, right? Maybe 3/4, 2/3 potentially.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of fucking people.
That's like a quarter, right? No, it's less than a quarter. Yeah, it's 3/16. All right, it's 3/16. Okay, or 5/32. I guess it'd be 5/32 because it's a little. Yeah, it'd be 5/32 right here. And there's 333 million people, I think. 330 million. I don't know. I just make shit up usually and hope it's right. Does it work? You guys like it? Thank you. Home affected customers can take protective action, guys. How about AT&T? does that? How about they take protective action from us? Okay, guys? No, they don't, because infrastructure is built shit. It's built like shit. And I would know because I am a network security major. I'm out of practice. All of my certifications are all expired. Basically, they all have been since 2016, 2018, I think my net. For a while, I thought I was gonna not be able to be a YouTuber, so I got recertified with Net Plus. It's getting old though. I'm getting tired of it. What should we do about it? Comment down below an action plan, okay? Because I'm tired of getting over in general. Guys, I'm making a video right now about something pretty cool. I'm the guy who's always getting scammed. Every time I make a lot of scam videos, I don't actually get scammed. I've only been scammed really once. One big scam, and everything else I'm just like really reaching so I can have a title and thumbnail. Everyone's getting scammed by this one company that I'm investigating, seems like, and we got them. We got them bad, and I'm excited to release that video. It's gonna be really fun and big and long, and you guys are gonna be really upset. All right, we're gonna write our congressmen, hopefully, and make a real change. Not really, we're not gonna write our congressmen, but we're gonna send a fucking shit ton of mail to this company, though. I tell you what, we're gonna bully them into listening, being good. Anyways, it's getting old. Let's do something about it. How? What do we do? Maybe the government should step in. Some attorney generals for some states are on the case for this stuff, and hopefully they're not just gonna get some slaps on the wrist. Hopefully there's gonna be a lot more hefty consequences, like the owner of each company has to be spanked or has to fuck a pig, like that episode of Black Mirror. That's what I want my attorney general to mandate instead of a lawsuit, because quite frankly, this is getting old. Hey guys, your data's been stolen. Here's what you can do to help prevent this in the future. Protect yourself better. Here's an ad, something like that. Just don't go online. That's the only way around it. That's literally the only way around it. Being anonymous online is impossible, okay? Most VPNs don't really work that well. Most security stuff doesn't really work that well. You can mitigate, and if you're not a high-risk person, you're going to be okay, most likely, if you're the average Joseph. But if you've got stuff that you don't want stolen, do not put it online. Don't digitize it. It's that simple. And that sucks, because like, it's fun to talk to your friends on Discord, and it's fun to play video games, and it's fun to interact with people on Reels. It's fun to see what's out there in the world. It's fun to culture yourself with stuff like this. If anything's recording your voice or taking pictures of your face, it could feasibly be training an AI. Maybe the app itself isn't training an AI. Maybe that information is being siphoned or stolen, or maybe there's a breach. It's gonna get really scary though. Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, calls out TikTok in this epic thing. There was an AI scam of him online, and that shit is so fucking scary. Deepfakes, so fucking scary. There are commentary channels that are literally being ripped and turned into just AI. Their voice is being used. It's insane, man. It's insane. Do I like that? No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That makes me want to hurt someone. Is it funny? Sure, for sure. I think it's hilarious. Am I gonna stand by idly as if I don't care, I'm not involved? Probably. Until it directly affects either A, me, or B, some way that I'm making money, or C, my family, or my loved ones, whatever. Just kidding. But how the fuck are we gonna be able to fight this shit? I mean, if it wasn't literally Jimmy Donaldson there, and it was just a voice, how would he be able to prove that it was his voice? How would you be able to even prove that? Hey, my voice was stolen. No, it wasn't. This just happens to sound like you people can sound similar, and this AI was trained off of like a plethora of different voices. How would you ever prove it? You'd have to subpoena some shit. You have to find some information. Then it's not worth it. This is going to become a massive problem. My voice was also stolen to sing Union Dixie, and it's so bad, dude. Oh, way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes and alligators, right away. It's so bad. Way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes and alligators, right away, come away, right away. Well, I'll go down to Dixie, away. I hate that shit. Sounds so bad. I sing way better than this. It pisses me off when I see this shit. To the town of Alfrey, you rode a stranger one fine day. Anyways, you might think this is crazy. You might think I'm a fucking Alex Jones, but like less crazy. I guess I don't fucking know.
You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You goddamn fucker.
Bear with me though. we have a story from a Reddit user, all right, that will confirm beyond a reasonable doubt with a burden of proof, of which is valid, okay? Because burden of proof, awesome, but that burden of proof needs to be valid, all right?
Urgent warning about AI companies reselling your voice, even from audition submissions. Beware, as a few have mentioned of late, AI and deepfake are coming on in leaps and bounds. I found this clause at the bottom of an audition script on a freelancing website. Needless to say, I didn't read for it. I, the owner of your voice you are listening to right now, give consent to Descript to create an overdub voice of this voice based on the project media contained in this Descript project. I understand that the owner of the Descript account being used to create this overdub voice and anyone with whom the owner shares access will be able to generate speech that sounds like this voice. What? You're able to steal people's voices? Now, that being said, that is an ancient Reddit post from 3 years ago. That is really scary, to be honest, in theory, but I'm not fucking surprised even remotely. So you can just become that person. It sucks, dude. That's very scary. It's very, 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 very scary. So don't use these apps. I don't know how legal this shit is. I don't know if it will ever be illegal. I'm sure it's going to be nipped in the bud pretty soon. I mean, YouTube, fortunately, is cracking down on deepfake stuff. You have to mark your video as containing AI or deepfake. So rest in peace, Kwebbelkop. He fucking sucks, by the way. That shit that whole thing. I mean, I don't know much about him as a person, but by God, that whole AI idea, that is an ass idea. That is a terrible, lame, just devoid of any value idea. Holy shit. Other than just making money without doing anything. I guess it has value for some people. Almost forgot. To protect children, Florida is thinking about banning social media for anyone below a certain age. Do I like that idea? I think I like that idea. Do I like that idea? I think I like that idea. I don't think I like that idea because I feel like the government shouldn't be able to say what anyone does, and it should be up to the parents. You know? It should be up to the parents to decide whether or not their kids can be iPad babies. It stops minors being targeted by PDF files, maybe, but it also restricts. There's a lot of good on the internet. For example, I learn a lot of shit from YouTube. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube. None of it is anything like what I make. All right, I watch Sean Munger.
Hi, I'm Sean Munger. I have a PhD in history, and my niche here on YouTube is doing very deep dives on historical subjects.
I learned about history and the infographic show.
North Korea is one of the most difficult countries in the world to leave, with attempted defectors facing life in prison camps or even execution. After 2020, when the nation closed its borders, escaping only became more difficult.
I learned, complex geopolitical issues from the early 70s using YouTube. Now, did I do that when I was 14? No, I didn't. But I'm interested to see what you guys think about the Florida bill. I say, probably don't do that. It's good, but is it good? It's not good. I think it's not good, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't have kids. I feel like if I had kids, I just wouldn't let them on the internet. Not with a grain of salt. Take this at face value, all right? I'm an influencer, quite literally. That's what I get paid to do this. And I get paid way too much to do this shit. I'm very lucky. Extremely grateful. Obviously, all this is true. Do not let your kids watch YouTube, okay? They can watch me. Just kidding. Don't let them watch YouTube. Don't let them get on Facebook. Don't let them get on any of this stuff. If I had a child, I would not let them anywhere near the shit. I didn't start using any social media until I was maybe 15 or so, right around there. I was making YouTube videos before I was even allowed on Facebook. So it's like YouTube's a little bit better, maybe, but the other shit sucks. It causes brain rot. It literally inflicts identity crises on children, which is terrible. And I think that if having to scan your ID and actually prove you're a human being and give away your information to even use social media, I think that's nonsensical. There should be anonymity. Okay, for sure. Lots and lots of anonymity. Maybe like on X or something, if they eventually do some shit like that, you can see an account that's verified that has shared their information, but then it makes more honeypots of data, and then you walk back into the data breach problem and the privacy problem for convenience, or building a system of value by having people prove who they are at the cost of privacy. It's just worthless. I don't know. And got banned too, as well. Anyways, guys, if you're willing to use technology and you're willing to immerse yourself in the digital media sphere, you are willing to open yourself up to having all your rights violated, okay? That's pretty much what the it boils down to. I don't like it. It makes me upset. If you're worried about it, log off, destroy your devices, get a burner phone, start using an alias, okay? When you go to Starbucks, don't give them your real name, all right? I am Talos, God of Gods. That's what I am whenever I go to McAllister's or Stymie. People call me Stimmy, though. They say Stimmy. They don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.